The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Ideas Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com. I'm Danny Brewer. Welcome to the show this morning, Coach Floyd Walker, the head guy down there at Eagleville. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Man, I've had better mornings, but I'm good, man. Appreciate you asking. Thank you for having us on and everything. So I'm good though, man.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about it. Let's kind of keep things in perspective here. Tough road game last night.
We were at home.
Oh, you were at home. Okay,
Yeah,
so that makes it a little bit tougher then, right? When it don't come out your way.
Yeah, it really does. I memean, we had a great crowd, great atmosphere. I thought our student body and our band did a tremendous job providing that. It was just one of those nights where the breaks of the game just kind of went against us, and we couldn't get it done.
Coach, when we talk about the differences between road and home, for guys like Eagleville, it's a little bit different than some of the bigger schools because the bigger schools are so close together.
Right.
Whereas you guys, a road game is more of a road game.
Yeah, it's truly a road game because it's everything becomes time becomes critical. I mean, from the time you get out of school to the time kids get their bags packed, you get pregame meal, you get back downstairs, you check everything again, you get the trailer loaded up, buses appear, you load the buses, and you're out. And then you just hope that you don't have any traffic issues or any other kind of mechanical issues because it'll put you off schedule. And when you're in the 1A league, there's some challenging road trips that you have to take, but over the past years, our kids have always handled it extremely well, and we've already had one road trip. We went over to MTSU. We went down the road to community, and those are similar to having home games. So, but we're kind of accustomed to it, and I don't think it's become that big of an issue for our kids.
When you think about home games, they present challenges too, because do you think sometimes it's harder to keep your kids focused for a home game than a road game just because of some of the noise and the distractions of playing at home?
No, because it's one of those deals where you really like them on that routine class schedule. It's one of those deals they know that, hey, I'm in this class. I know how much time I got to go between these classes. And then it's kind of like practice, because what they'll do is they'll get out of school, they'll get in their vehicles if they drive, or they'll just come straight downstairs, and it's kind of a familiar routine for them. So a home game is something that we kind of feel really, really extremely comfortable about.
So 21-14 was the final last night. Tell me a little bit about how the game played out.
I mean, it was one of those deals where they win the toss, they take the ball, they come out in a different formation. We get adjusted to it. And then we ended up eventually, it's fourth and whatever may be, we blow a coverage, they hit somebody running down the seam, they go up 7-0. We come back, hold them for a little bit. I think we ended up driving down, putting the ball in the end zone, tying it up 7-7. Going back and forth, it's 7-7, somewhere in that neighborhood. We bobble a punt on snap on punt, give them good field position. They go down, after a couple of plays and put it in, go up 14-7. And then we return the kickoff back for 6 to tie it up. So momentum is, it's like a heavyweight bout for us old people. It's one of those Ali Frazier.
There you go. Like the Thriller in Manila, huh?
So, we're exchanging body blows, and it's, they've got the momentum. We take back the momentum, and it's kind of going back and forth like that. And it was that way until the end of the game. We had one last play. We throw it to the end zone with no time on the clock, and we just come up short, and they basically made one more play than we did, and and they got out with the win.
So I understand that you didn't come out the way you wanted to on the scoreboard, but you had to be proud of how your kids competed, because if you're right there at the end, you have a chance.
Oh, win, lose, or draw, we're always going to be proud of our kids. Our kids do a super job of representing not only our football program, but they do a super job of representing Eagleville schools. So win, lose, or draw, we're going to be proud of these kids. These kids come and they give us everything that they have every single day. And if you ever come to one of our games and you watch how our kids play and how they play for one another and the joy they get out of it, I mean, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. But it's one of those deals, you feel for them. Last night, you feel for them this morning, you feel for them this weekend, because they put so much into it that you just hate to have to tell them that, there's better days ahead, because it's one of those situations to where it truly is. But at the time, they're hurting, and there's no way that you can really comfort a competitor when they face defeat.
So let's talk a little bit about maybe your Joe Frazier on your defense, because Joe Frazier is tough as nails. How about Marshall Spann? I think he had a good game last night.
Marshall had a good game. He got a little bit nicked up early on in the first quarter, second quarter some way. Kind of got held out second quarter. Got evaluated at halftime. Came back in, played a little banged up, and during the third and fourth, but battled his tail off. So you couldn't ask more for a kid. You really couldn't ask more for a kid, and I'm super proud of just the way that he competed, even though he was a little bit banged up, and you just tip your cap for the kid's toughness and his commitment to his teammates. It's not anything. It's not about himself. It's just what he's trying to play for the rest of the guys, and that's what it's all about.
Very Joe Frazier-like.
Yeah.
So let's talk about maybe your Ali here, because float like a butterfly. Ali was good at moving in the ring. Caleb Stitzer, I think he had a good game. Maybe averaged about 8 yards a carry, something like that.
Caleb's played well all year long. Caleb's played tremendously hard, and I mean if you watch him at the end of the game, he is absolutely spent from the amount of energy that he's put on the football field. And I mean, he's running the ball for us. He's rushing the passer. He's trying to stop the run. He's dropping back on coverage. I mean, he's competing at an extremely high level, and I'm tickled to death for him and the success that he's had so far.
Coach, I know a lot of the focus is on offense and defense, but special teams, I know you mentioned the kickoff.
Right.
I think Noah Lilly ran it back 65 yards touchdown.
Yeah.
How about special teams and what that does for your team?
I mean, special teams can make or break a game. We've always taken pride on our punt team as far as the number one, the protection and the coverage. It was just an unfortunate deal where, snap came, rolled around a little bit. We did handle it. We did get yardage out of it. But that's just the break of the game. A lot of times you go into a football game and people at this level really neglect special teams. We spend a bunch of time on our punt. But for something like that to happen is uncharacteristic of us. I don't foresee it becoming an issue or a problem. But it can affect an outcome of a football game. And unfortunately, it allowed them to change field position. We get the punt off. We're probably going to make them be somewhere inside their own 30. And field position is critical when you're trying to prevent people from scoring points.
Do you think that is it a challenge getting your kids invested in special teams? Because I don't know. Obviously, I haven't coached football, but do you think your kids put enough emphasis on special teams as far as be it taking pride in being the kickoff returner or the punt returner or the long snapper or what have you?
They do. I've never had an issue with our kids taking on their roles. They embrace their roles because what they know is that it's a deal to where they're out there with their teammates. And that's what it's all about. It's not about an individual doing what they want to do. Is if you're going to play on this team, you're going to play for these guys. And our kids understand that. So whether we're asking somebody to be on punt block, kickoff return, punt return, whatever it may be, they embrace it. And we're so thankful that we have that type of person, in our program.
Coach, talk about what you got coming up this week.
Oh boy, big week here at Eagleville, man. Big week. it's homecoming week for Eagleville, and as everybody who's affiliated with Eagleville knows, that's always a special time of year. And I think things kick off Monday night with Powder Puff football, so we'll get the ball rolling. It's exciting to watch all the little elementary kids build floats and ride on floats and eat candy and everything. So it's always a special time of year for our school and our community.
Who's coming into town?
We'll have Collinwood. Collinwood will roll into town. It'll be another region game for us. Don't know much about them except for what we've done the last couple of years. I know that they're going to try to be big, physical, run the football. They normally get in the double slots and a wishbone type of deal. And it's a power football game, and we've got to get ready to go match that again.
Is what your folks going to be the best Eagle we can be? We're not really worried about what they're doing. We just need to do
That's
what
we
do.
got to do. We got to go back, and we got to go ahead and we'll let this one marinate, like I said, for over the weekend. But when we show back up on Monday, we got to take care of us. And our kids have done a good job of always blocking out things and moving on. And it's the next play mentality is basically what it is. And this play is over with. It ended Friday night around 9 o'clock, and we'll move on to the next play Monday around 4.
There you go, Coach. All right, so we're going to wind this up. People who know your history understand what a stud you are, what a thoroughbred you've always been on the football field.
And you come up with this.
So we're gonna finish this up with it's a huge day at Kentucky Downs. We got some big time racing going on. Now I'm gonna pick a couple horses for you because see,
well, I'm not picking anything. Floyd Walker does not gallop.
But see, Floyd Walker has inspired me because in the sprint race, it's a Breeders' Cup winner you're in. So the reason I'm picking this race is because you're such a speedy thoroughbred. So what I'm going to do is there's a horse I like. His name is Coppola. He runs his eyeballs out. I mean, always tough run, always hard running. Just like Floyd Walker was always a hard player, set records in MTSU, all that kind of stuff. Then the second horse we're going to pick, this is for your wife, Grooms All Business. I know that's for Kim Walker right there. Grooms All Business. That's Floyd Walker. Coach, we appreciate your time. If you want to see some good football, you get over there for homecoming because I guarantee you the community will turn out in force. Coach, we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Danny. We appreciate it, and safe travels to you, man.
Whether you're a student, alumni, or just a fan, Raider Tees has exactly